cyberspace. How you doing out there? Thank you very much for all your shares, likes, tweets, and also all your subscriptions onto my YouTube channel. Jeff Hollahead, the Saints of Sounds. Press the notification button and subscribe. Once again, this is one of my favourite songs I wrote. It was a true story about living next door to Akinwal Arabihi, aka Purple Aki. And I believe he's doing very well. Like myself, we're out of there, we're out of the hotel, and we're getting on with our lives. But here we go. He's 7 foot tall and he's big and black. And when I'm gonna go to the showers, I've gotta watch my back. For 2 years now, I've been living next door to Aki, purple fucking Aki. He came to me stand on the first day, and in my mind I said, fuck off and go away, cause I caught him looking at my muscles. He thinks I'm Van Damme from Brussels. Don't know what I'm doing or why I'm singing this, because if he gets the wind, he knows I'm taking the piss, and I don't want to be shitting from a nappy. Gets me off the lucky. I'm only joking. Don't want my arsehole to receive a poking. He's 7 foot tall and he's big and black. And when I've got to go to the showers, I've got to watch my back. But for 2 years now, I've been living next door to Aki, purple looking Aki. I'm not being queer, I'm not being gay, but when I was in the showers the other day, he must have been 14 inches on the floor. It's like a kid on the fucking car. I don't know what I'm doing or why I'm singing this, because he gets the wind, he knows I'm taking the piss, and I don't want to be shitting from a nappy gets boom by Bebalaki. I'm only joking. Don't want my arsehole to receive a poking. Did you tell you the time when I had the toy fight? He picked me up in the air and he exposed me like shite. Then I felt this bulge against my leg. This bulge is like a keg. I don't know what I'm doing or why I'm singing this, because he gets the wind, he knows I'm taking a piss, and I don't want to be shitting from a nappy gets his book my Bebalaki. I'm only joking. Don't want my underpants to get soaking. Yeah. There you go. Have a great day. Thank you very much. Subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Thanks, Charlie, for that.
Well, tonight we're going to be talking the man who's... It's part true crime, part urban legend. It's a bit of everything in it.
What I describe him as, what was it? It's Harvey Price mixed with the Candyman. Spooky bummings.
Spooky bummings. Oh, you wouldn't want him coming up behind you in the mirror, would you?
They say if you do like 5 reps of squats 5 times in the mirror, Purple Aki will come.
Come and feel your muscles. Right, so where are we starting? Where are we starting then, Ian, with Purple Aki?
I think we got to start with his early life, because you got to give the audience a brief description of his childhood or whatever. I got to find this thing. I can't pronounce his name. It's what the fuck?
I'll have a go. It's Akinwale Oluwaflola Jimmy Oluwatopi Arabieki. I think something like that.
Purple Aki.
Nailed it, Hemi.
Yeah, nailed it. Like a native.
So he's obviously a British criminal. Actually, no, he's not seen as that anymore. I'll tell you later on. But yeah, from the northwest of England, he's known as Purple Aki. He's 6 foot tall and he's big and black. He's a 6'5" tall bodybuilder, and he weighs 22 stones. So this guy's a giant. He's not Chris Rock, some skinny runt black guy. You know what I mean?
Do you reckon,
to
do you reckon
fucking
he'd
over.
feel the Rock's muscles and the Rock would be a little bit intimidating? A little bit weird come out there.
Mate, he had the Rock bending over in a second, I guess. He's obviously of Nigerian descent, as most of these, blacks are, aren't they? Can you guess what his father's name is?
Unknown.
Yeah. You read it then, yeah.
So anyway,
No,
so
far from it.
so it says build height and weight for the Rock. So to compare him, the Rock's 6'5" and 260 pounds.
He's 310 pounds.
Yeah.
So he's got a bit of a gun on him as well. Purple gun.
So he's was he 2 inches taller than the Rock, and he's also got about 60 pounds on him as well.
Yeah.
So just so people can like imagine the size of Blackie.
He's a fucking monster.
Oh shit! That's Jim Cook's made me think of a film. I've got £1 million film idea. It's like Friday the 13th, except it's like Crystal Lake, and it's the PA camping trip, and Blackie's Jason.
The fascist fitness camping trip.
Down at Crystal Lake.
I'd say he's more Freddy Krueger, just like every bodybuilder, just haunts their nightmares. Let me squeeze your muscles.
I want to squeeze your muscles, mate. Of course, Clown X, who's just joined us, has no idea who we're talking about. But we're gonna teach you some stuff tonight, Clown X.
You were talking about man love and man muscles? No, I don't know.
Yeah. Right.
Clown X never judges. Clown X doesn't judge.
So back to the man, the myth.
Right. So I'm gonna. Do you want to get into his criminal history? Because
where do you think? I think so. If we go from his early life in Wikipedia, so Aki was born on 15th of July 1961 at Crumpsall Hospital in Crumpsall, Lancashire. His mother was a secretarial student of Nigerian descent. His father's identity is known, as we said. He was placed in care at the age of 6 months and spent some time in a Bernardo's home in Llandudno. As an adult, he held several jobs, such as a cleaner in the Mersey tunnels and a messenger for Liverpool City Council.
fuck. Brings new term to Mersey tunnels, isn't it?
He was probably pumping the Mersey
this guy hasn't
tunnels.
got the greatest upbringing, has he? He hasn't got the greatest upbringing. So most of these, I don't know if you. Well, I guess he is a nonce, but that's as I say. I think we should get into his crimes. His first crime.
Okay, then let's go for it.
According to this is his first crime. So on the 15th of June 1986, this guy's 59 years old, by the way. He's still out there.
That's six. So he was born in 61. So in 86, he was 24. I would have thought there's some stuff before this, but it's obviously not documented, is it?
Actually, with it, I think there is. Because I think he had a weird obsession when he was a kid. I'll find that soon. Yeah. So on June 1986, a 16-year-old from Birkenhead named Gary Kelly was electrocuted at New Brighton railway station. This is in Liverpool. He was allegedly running away from Purple Aki. He was convicted of manslaughter, but successfully appealed against the conviction on the grounds that he had not acted unlawfully by standing on the platform and looking into trains. In addition, Purple Aki was reportedly awarded 35 grand compensation due to alleged racial overtones in the prosecution case. So this guy was, we heard from his girlfriend at the time. Apparently, because I think there's actually a camera video about this. So he was stalking this guy. Touched his muscles. He's obviously walking away. Went to the train station, and he crossed the railway tracks to get away from him. Apparently, he didn't do anything. He just stood there, and he got away with it, I'd say. Well, in the end, he got away with it because he actually did get arrested for this. So this guy's a fucking creep, stalker. he could be a canal pusher. There is a rumor that he is a canal pusher.
And the canal.
Yeah. This is why you shouldn't do. Well, I was going to say this is why you shouldn't do deadlifts, but Purple Aki likes squats, doesn't he? It's his deal. So don't do squats. I know I advise people to do squats, but remember, if you're good at squatting, Purple Aki might come up behind you. So just bear that in mind when you're at the gym. Yeah, don't. Just be careful. That's all I've got to say. Be very careful. He's coming for you. 1, 2, Purple Aki's coming for you. 3, 4, better watch how you squat on the floor. Yeah.
Right,
But yeah, that's a bit weird. Like he obviously, I know he hasn't been convicted of that crime, but why the fuck would a man run away?
No, I think he has.
Yeah, because he got done for manslaughter, didn't he?
Yeah, and then he got killed due to racial overtones, apparently.
He was trying to touch him up on it. He was trying to fucking nonce him. Right, well, not nonce him. But,
So that was the first, criminal act he's ever done, and no one believed him. The people of Liverpool didn't believe him for a while, even though he saw his face and all that. But apparently they didn't believe it was him. They were still talking that was going on, that Purple Aki was still out there, wasn't the real guy, all this stuff. He is the man. He became a legend around Liverpool. It was even a child, like you tell your children, like, if you don't go in at 7 o'clock, Purple Aki's going to touch you up or whatever. It was used as fear to get the kids in.
A modern day fairy tale.
Yeah, he put the fairy.
Have you guys been listening to classic Fortean times? Because there's this guy called Hobbit on it, and he's interrupting the co-host constantly. It's really annoying.
Yeah.
It says here that he appeared in court in 2001, pleaded not guilty to 50 counts of indecent insult against 14 teenage boys. He was released in 2003, but he resumed his activities and was quickly arrested and charged. During the course of the trial, 123 people were interviewed by the police, including one family who were forced into witness protection as a result of threats from Purple Aki. This led to Purple Aki being charged with witness intimidation. He went after the entire fucking family. It's one on about you have to watch it with your weight training, because if it gets too intense, he's fucking coming for you. He's coming for you and your family. You better watch out, Charlie.
Guess how many people the police interviewed about his acts?
Oh God, are we doing an over/under on this? Are we going to do closest number?
Yeah.
I'll go 100.
Pretty close. It's 123 people interviewed by the police, including one family, as Phil said, was forced into witness protection. So this guy's been out and about. He's been to Liverpool. He's been to Manchester. He's recently spotted in.
Has he been to Malaga yet?
Newcastle. He's been everywhere. So this guy is northern nonce. So Phil, clench your ass on, mate, 'cause there might be getting entered soon, mate. With this guy.
Punish John Kelly has done a bit more of the Freddie rhyme. 7A, run away, you get right.
You know someone from Manchester who's like enthusiastic about squats and weightlifting and such.
Yeah, can I see your physique, mate? Show physique, mate.
Maybe he's trying to tempt Purple Aki in, isn't he? Wants a bit of fucking purple fucking dick in. That's what he's trying to do.
Purple Aki has high standards.
Is he doing this to make Charlie jealous?
They both want Purple Aki, don't they? Both of them do.
Mary loves dick. Mary loves dick.
So this is from the BBC website. So one April afternoon, as James Vaughan walked through Garston in South Liverpool on his way to play snooker, a voice called out to him, do you know if there are any gyms nearby? Jesus Christ. It sounds like half the people in the dissident right, doesn't it? Vaughan turned to look. Next to him by an alleyway fence there was a man he didn't recognise, an imposing, powerfully built figure. At the time, Vaughan was 15, maybe 16, at 6'3", tall for his age. But this man was an inch or two bigger still and muscular. He must have weighed over 20 stone. The man stood in front of Vaughan, blocking his path, and said, "Can I feel your muscles? Can I feel your biceps?" The sheer oddness of the request threw Vaughan. He was a reserved shy boy, and there was no one else around to ask for help. I mean, who'd you ask for help with this fucking man monster who wants to squeeze your muscles? So when the man ordered him to flex his muscles, Vaughan did what he was told. The man gripped each of his arm in turn. It was a sort of slimy running his hand up and down. Vaughan, who is now 48, recalled. Jesus Christ, this bloke was 15 or 16 and he probably is still as vivid as now as it was then. Vaughan saw a chance to get away. When a stranger passed on the other side of the road, the teenager pretended it was his father and latched onto him. Vaughan finally arrived at the snooker hall and told a friend what had happened. One of his mates said, "Do you know who that was?" The man who accosted him was notorious. He had a thing for feeling muscles, and his nickname, "It's Purple Aki."
Purple Aki. Do you know why he's called Purple Aki? No one.
What is it they said? How is it they described it on the BBC News website? It's I think you only see it in like the description of the webpage. I don't know. Oh, fuck, get it up. The nickname itself was racially charged, the suggestion being he's so black he's purple.
That's new to me, because I've often heard like when someone's so black they're a bluey black.
Yeah.
But yeah. I guess the Liverpudlians see things differently.
I do like the BBC description of him as well. Across the northwest, Akinwale Arabeki has become a modern day boogeyman and an internet sensation.
Yeah, he is a celebrity. People take selfies with him and all that, and it's strange. Yeah, you have musty lads even trying to get him to feel the muscles for him. That's how.
Parents would tell their children not to stay after dark, or Aki would get them. So what you got next for us then, Uno?
Right. Well, after all that shenanigans were going on, he was released from prison in 2006, and the Merseyside police court.
Sorry mate, I just have to this argument, this article's just reminded me, I don't know whether you know, but Clive Barker that wrote Candyman was born in Liverpool. So Candyman, the article's just reminded me, so Candyman might be a bit closer to Purple Aki than you actually realise.
Tony Todd. If I was going to cast Purple Aki, I'd immediately think of Tony Todd.
Oh dear, that would be fucking funny if it turns out that Candyman was actually based on Purple Aki. Anyway, carry on here now.
So they put a ban on him, muscle touch ban. I don't know how you can enforce that, not touching people's muscles. I don't know how you're supposed to do that. I don't get it. They watch you? No, I don't know. Fucking no clue. But he's banned from touching, feeling, measuring anyone's muscles, asking people to do squats in public, entering the towns of St. Helens, Warrington and Widnes without police permission, loitering near schools, gyms or sport clubs. The ban was later overturned as draconian, but remained in force after a successful appeal by police. So Purple Aki...
Because he doesn't give a fuck, does he? Like he's breached the fucking orders so many fucking times. He doesn't give a fuck, does he?
I suppose. Well, it relies on people having the knowledge that the order's there, right? So they can complain and get something done about it, isn't it? It's a bit weird, really, isn't it?
Well, it's only going to get weirder from what I've seen. So Purple Aki approached a man in a shopping centre in Preston.
Does this mean you're our foremost Purple Aki historian, Ian?
It seems like it. He's commented upon the size of his biceps before touching them without permission. He was arrested shortly afterwards on suspicion of breaching his Sexual Offence Acts Prevention Order and later convicted. Jailed for a further 15 months with the muscle ban being made permanent. Right. I'm looking at this now. So in addition, DC Andrew Rowlands claimed that Purple became sexually aroused while forcing terrified young men to perform inverted piggybacks. So
I don't even want to know what an inverted piggyback is.
Is that like a fucking mule kick? Yeah. Is that like a mule kick?
Is it like the sexual position, the wheelbarrow? Is that what?
I'm going to look up an inverted piggyback now.
So he's also ordered them to squat so he can lean over their backs with his face by their buttocks and his genitalia on their neck while squeezing their quad muscles. During a court case, Purple made an apology to his victims and admitted he was infamous, notorious, everything from a boogerman to whatever.
So do you think it is a question, well, we're quite early on then. Do you think like he was just doing this for a laugh, or do you think he actually is creepy?
Well, he travels around across the north doing it, so I guess he's creepy.
Yeah, he's pretty fucking dedicated.
Yeah, it's a lot of commitment.
Yeah.
I can't actually find out what inverted, but all I'm thinking is like, if it's a piggyback, you're carrying someone on your back, so is he carrying them so that his legs are on his shoulders and that their face is on Blackie's bum?
Ian A just actually described it. It was something to do with his head was by their buttocks and his dick was hanging over the shoulder or something.
So I'm guessing some like weird 69. That's all I can say.
Okay, so okay, that makes sense. Like normal piggyback, you've got your head over someone's shoulder. An inverted piggyback, they got your legs on their shoulders so that your face is by their bum.
Yeah. So, all right. Breaches of SOPO. I don't know what that means. But we get it.
Did the authorities ask for a raise for dealing with this cad? Across the board.
Remember, this is a very serious show, and we'll treat it with the sobriety, somberness, what it deserves.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so he's at it again, of course. In late 2008, so this is not too long ago. This is, I think the latest one he did was in 2016, so this is not.
But he must have been doing this since like his late teens, early 20s. Maybe he was doing it to the smaller kids at school. He must have been doing this for a long while, mustn't he?
I think I put a link in that the Purple channel about that. Apparently, when he was like 14 years old, he used to like hang around school toilets and try and do shit.
Oh Jesus Christ!
So this guy's definitely had a fucked up childhood. And,
So do you reckon he got? Do you reckon he did get? So did he get fostered? Did you ever find that out, or was he just in children's home for much of his life?
Let me scroll up. I think he was.
Is he Rwanda?
Rwanda.
Or is he from Uganda?
Nigerian. He's of Nigerian descent.
Oh, he's a Niger, is he?
Yeah, have you got the story? The one about the £20 bet,
And I think I do. Somewhere. I gotta look up. I should have became more prepared. But this guy's been going everywhere. He's going from North England, and he's even been to Wales. So if there's any,
well, he was his children's home was in Llandudno. So as they would say on Crime Watch, he has links to the Llandudno area.
Yeah. I'm probably repeating it now, but yeah, he's been in care since the age of 6 months.
Yeah.
In a Bernardo's home in
Llandudno.
I can't say Welsh.
So where are we going next with the?
I think we should head to the rumours because this isn't. I don't think I've got a lot of content, to be fair, but
I could do a bit more of the BBC article while you're having a look if you want. Aki had purely been conjured up somewhere in the deepest recesses of the Scouse Id. Plenty of people assumed he was an urban legend, a bit like the Candyman in the Liverpool-born author's Clive Barker. Do you think Clive Barker got accosted by Purple Aki, and that's where Candyman come from?
Isn't most horror films from like actual experience and all this?
Yeah, because I don't know if you've read a lot of Stephen King, you'll know because the lad in Stand By Me gets hit by a train. Apparently, when he was a kid, he saw his mate get hit by a train, so he writes about that quite a lot.
Oh, what an unimaginative hack! Yeah. Hey, can we get Purple Aki to say "sweets for the sweets"?
Sweets for the sweet. Have you watched Candyman recently? Then.
Oh no, I love Candyman. I think it's a brilliant film series. I watched it
about a week ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What did you think?
Oh, I'd seen it before when it was. I'd seen it before when it was on VHS. I just hadn't watched it for years. But yeah, it is. There's definitely if we ever do it on DMS, there's definitely something about the black man dominating the white woman about it, isn't there? There's some interesting imagery going on with that, isn't there?
She's a social worker.
Yeah. No, she's not. She's not even a social worker. She's at university wanting to be a social worker.
Oh, so she's a wannabe social worker.
She's a wannabe social worker. I think that makes her even worse.
Oh God, yeah. I think Tony Todd does a very good job in that film, by the way.
I think that was like his big break, wasn't it? I think the problem was he got a bit typecast after that. He's now just the gravelly horror guy, isn't he?
No, he's also Worf's brother in Star Trek.
Oh, is he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he plays... I can't remember the name of him, but you see him in a few episodes. He might be some other bit parts in Star Trek as well.
This just reminds me of people from the alt-right, because it was the early 1980s and Tony Evans was 23, working in a warehouse near Liverpool's Albert Docks. It was a hard job loading heavy bundles of Littlewood catalogues into lorries. One day he climbed a flight of stairs from the loading bay. A voice asked behind him said, "Do you do wage, mate?" Evans turned around and there he was. About a year previously, Evans had been told stories about Aki by his younger brothers who were athletes and regular gym goers. Back then, Evans thought the tales were hilarious, but he never believed them until now. "I bet you've got big biceps." The voice was softly spoken. A hand reached towards Evans.
Fortean Travels says, in the film, Candyman killed someone in the public toilet in an unfortunate anal penetration event. Again, got the Aki toilet crossover.
Yeah.
Hey, bruv, do you even lift, bruv? Hey, let me feel you squat.
Evans snarled a retort. He'd throw this man down the stairs if he didn't back off. The interloper retreated and disappeared through a door. He hadn't appeared aggressive at any point, but the bogeyman was real. Over the next year or so, Evans saw him a lot round the site. He was very deferential, very quiet, folks. He spoke very softly. He didn't draw attention to himself unless he wanted to feel your muscles, Evans says. When he was in the loading bay, he was almost soundless coming up. Jesus Christ. He does sound like some sort of bogeyman, doesn't he?
Well, he is seen as it because the stories and the rumours that you see in the BBC article.
Oh, I haven't finished this dude's story yet. There's a fan that not everyone found him amusing. One hot July day, Evans stood at the loading bay and watched as Arabieki sprinted towards him from the other side of a fence. About 20 guys with bare chests and pickaxe handles were after him. I'm sure they would have killed him, Evans says. He watched Arabieki scale the fence to escape. Oh, Jesus.
Scare the fence. Fucking hell, I thought you'd be smashing that fence up like Harvey Price with taxi doors.
Yeah, like Hot Fuzz. Like, yeah. Oh dear.
Yeah, I think someone mentioned. I think it was Jim Cook saying, this is probably Harvey Price's dad.
I think someone said, is this a glimpse into Harvey Price's future?
Also, Ian says he prefers the old horror films in black and white. Well, Candyman is in black and white.
Yeah.
There's the white wannabe social worker, and there's the black, or darky as they call them.
Yeah. Summer Spy says the happy days when all you had to worry about was Purple Aki on the 57 bus.
It was a more innocent time back then.
So do you want to talk about the chair incident, the bet?
Yeah, the bet. So there's two stories to this. I think this is one from an actual prisoner and one from the supposed victim's family or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's so everyone stays out the gym. They go to the rec room. Purple Aki apparently follows them. Everyone disappears. Obviously, everyone knows what this guy's about, except for one prisoner who recently got got in prison. He had no clue. No one told him anything about this guy. He sat next to him. They were getting chatty and all that stuff. And Purple Aki made a bet that he couldn't fit through one of these chairs. Like, those plastic chairs you get as like a school kid.
Yeah.
With a hole in that. So he made a bet. 2 cigarette packets, all like 20 quid.
Yeah.
No one knows. And so the guy did it. And
well,
he got stuck.
He didn't quite do it, did he?
He got halfway there, apparently. He got stuck. And he screamed out for help. Purple Aki shut the door and apparently started touching him up. And
when they do the Purple Aki story, they should start it there, shouldn't they? Where the bloke's stuck in the chair. Do the record scratch. You're probably wondering how I got here.
Oh, it's grim. So after he did his business, apparently he left 2 packets of cigs right by him, and the guards came in, and obviously, he's just stopped.
Oh man, you see, it's okay. I paid him for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you like my Welsh accent?
Yeah.
So never take a bet from a big black guy to get through a chair. So it's just, it gets worse. It really does get worse. Because after there's another prison one that I've heard. Every one of his victims in prison, rape victims, he pulls out his little shank, his razor, whatever, and he starts carving his initials in his name and playing noughts and crosses on their ass. So this guy isn't friendly, you know what I mean? He's not doing the Barry White stuff, just playing music, like, charm you into bed or anything like that. No, this guy's fucking forceful.
Not the walrus of love, more the hippopotamus of love. Rhinoceros of love?
So it just gets grimmer and grimmer, and it's
Did you know he had a burger named after him? So it's a sleaze. It actually got pulled down, didn't it? But
racial discrimination. Yeah.
Yeah, we need a name for this week's special burger. All we can say so far is black bun, teriyaki, pickled veg, and slaw. And best name wins lunch for 2. So Amir says, "I'd be offended if you didn't call the burger the purple teriyaki."
So we're going to do a food review on it then. The purple teriyaki.
We're going to do the takeaway geezer bit. Set our table up outside.
I don't know how you could see that as. How would they know it's about Purple Aki? They just say like try Purple Aki's favorite burger, purple teriyaki. I don't know.
I like this little bit at the bottom. Aria Becky, who's described himself as a muscle fanatic, was the subject of complaints from teenage boys and young men who felt their muscles and challenged them to squats. I love the way the papers they just like, oh well, he's just the guy that used to feel muscles, don't they?
Yeah, well, there's 3 judges that will, there's no evidence he was, that he's threatened anyone or touched Kelly or that stuff, and such an unlawful racist act, apparently.
So he didn't threaten anybody to carve noughts and crosses in their arse. He just went ahead and did it.
Yeah.
There was something about he doesn't need to ask for consent because some like the fear makes him think about it. It's some weird stuff about his psychiatrist. But let me try to find it. It was something fucking weird.
I'll read one. I'm using the links from the Wikipedia. So the headline is Muscles Man Aki arrested again. This is in 2007. So he must still be doing it now, mustn't he?
Yeah, he's doing it. He's been seen in Newcastle. I think that's the latest one.
So this is 2007, and he was 46 then. So what's that? 7, 7, 3, 4. So he's 50 now then, and he's still doing
59. I think he's 59. I think.
Oh yeah, fuck. 1961. He's 60. No, he was born in 1961. He's 60 now.
His testicles still work? Isn't he like a candidate for chemical castration? Can't he become Traniaki?
Traniaki. How can I feel your muscles?
Trans women are women.
Yeah, Transakis are women.
Or, actually, the idea of a Traniaki
is another bit there. So, and there were colourful rumours that his father was a High Court judge or Nigerian royalty, or that Aki himself had some kind of shady connections with Liverpool's underworld. Oh, how about this one then? So there's a story that circulated that when you approach his victims and ask pop or slash, he was supposedly giving them a choice between rape or having his initials carved on them. The tale was ridiculous and completely untrue, but it added to the burgeoning Aki mythology.
Right, I found it. He said that after his hearing in 2008, Purple Aki explained that psychiatric counselling had helped him realise if I'm towering over them and I'm a big black man, they may not be really consenting, they may be consenting out of fear. So this guy, he has no, empathy, he doesn't have any, he doesn't ask for permission to say that, obviously. This doesn't charm anyone, he just fucking does it.
Yeah. Yeah, there comes to a bit about there comes to a point where you it's not really consent, is it?
Because now the people see him as like oh no, he's just a bit, he's just like weirdo, the guy, it's nothing different than like sniffing socks or something like that. It's they're making out like he's some just like some harmless like kinky person, if you know what I mean.
Have you seen this one? There's a thing from 2000 from Glastonbury in 2008. It was Purple Aki the gym pest from the northwest.
I think I put another video. The channel.
So someone else brought a banner that said, mate, Purple Aki just gripped us in a Portaloo.
I need to read that the Urban Dictionary. That made me laugh. Why can't I click on it? Can you click on the Urban Dictionary? It won't let me do it now.
Urban Dictionary. What do you want? Urban Dictionary Purple. Is it Purple Aki you want me to look for?
Yeah, just Purple Aki. Alright, never mind. Actually, no, 'cause I already said that, didn't I?
I'll find it.
So yeah, he's been very famous. He's been mentioned by Lord Sugar, Alan Sugar, the Dragon's Den guy.
So what context was that then?
So some guy took a selfie of him and he tweeted Alan Sugar saying, "Can I get a mention from my dad and his mate? Just been all the way to town to get 2 copies of your book." And it's just some guy like doing a thumbs up next to Purple Aki, and so Lord Sugar obviously mentioned him and he caused a massive shitstorm. calling him like he was supporting a pedo or something like that. He was, yeah, so the little show got flack. I'll post it in the link, actually. There's not much content on this guy, really. Other than, oh. There we go.
What's that? What's that? Where?
Right. Oh no, I'll post it in the live chat so people can see it.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, so this guy got compensated for that manslaughter charge, 35 grand, as I said in the start, for racial overtones. So I think what's that black advocacy group? The British one. It's not. I'm thinking ADL, but I know it's not that. It's. I can't remember what's called.
What? So something like the British version of the NAACP.
Something like that, yeah. And it was just, you're just doing this because he's black and this and that, and there's tons of evidence around, and they just fucking. You know what they do? It's what they do, don't they? It doesn't matter if they're fucking criminal.
Yeah, it's just that he's black, isn't it?
Still support him. Yeah.
So, do you want me to read out the story about the kid that ran away?
Yeah.
And died. Okay, so Sunday, 15th of June 1986 was a bright, warm day in New Brighton, one of the busiest the Merseyside seaside resort had seen that year. At the local pool, 16-year-old Gary Kelly had spent... Does everybody here know someone called Gary Kelly? Is it one of those fucking names? Had spent the afternoon with a crowd of about 15 friends. Gary had just finished his O-levels and loved to swim. He was 6 foot tall, athletic, talented footballer. The home he shared with his parents and 2 younger brothers in nearby Birkenhead was filled with trophies he'd won at Easterman District Junior League and Shaftesbury Boys Club. He supported Manchester United and had been scouted by Newcastle, but Gary's ambition was to join the police after finishing his A-levels. Level-headed, intelligent, forward-thinking, those were the adjectives his dad Raymond, a builder, and mum Pamela used to describe him. He'd been going out with his girlfriend Elaine Jordan, whose parents ran a pub near his home for 18 months. Late in the afternoon, a group of friends made their way out of the pool, then a cry up went, "Aki's here!" It was Arabeki, then aged 25. The sight of him, Gary abandoned his camp companions and fled. Gary was terrified of Arabeki, a court would hear. The teenager had been subjected to a campaign of harassment by him, a prosecutor told jurors. Rodney Cliven QC added that Arabeki had stalked and threatened to kill Gary, who told police he'd been assaulted. In the 4 months previously, Gary's personality had changed from happy-go-lucky to that of a frightened boy, constantly looking over his shoulder. Gary first encountered Arabeki outside his school, Elaine says. Another time when Gary was on his way back from visiting Elaine, he saw Arabeki wait for him outside his front door. Arabeki would also wait at the stop where the school bus would drop him. You'd look round and he'd be there standing next to you, Elaine recalls. He'd just appeared just like that. Everyone knew of him. Arabeki would ask Gary about his muscles, Elaine says. She adds then he would get Gary to tense his muscles in his leg before he gripped them. Then he would tell Gary to squat. And according to Elaine, Arabeki would bend over his back, feeling his calf muscles. Gary feared what Arabeki would do to him. Elaine says kids mocked Gary and said, "Aki will shag you. You're Aki's new boy." That sort of thing. On one occasion, Elaine and Gary were waiting for a bus when Arabeki turned up at the shelter. He got on our bus and followed us, so I started having a go at him. He called me a silly cow. On that Sunday afternoon, when Gary abandoned his friends and fled, he must have had terror in his heart and mind, the judge told jurors at Liverpool Crown Court. Gary thought he could hide in New Brighton's railway station a few hundred yards from the baths. He concealed himself for a while on one stationary train before walking along the platform towards the ticket barrier. Then he saw Arabeki. No one saw Gary's last movements, but the court heard he climbed off the platform under a train where he touched a live rail. Gary was electrocuted. Elaine was at home.
This is at night.
Question is, though, do you reckon he would have got bombed if he didn't run off, though? So he would have got bombed, wouldn't he?
I think he was building up to. He was building up to bumming him. It sounded like, didn't it?
Yeah.
This was late at night, wasn't it? So you can imagine like a black is black, fucking guy hiding in the shadows. Like you're not seeing him coming.
Some fucking shadow rock. Because you wouldn't, like you say, you wouldn't be able to see him, would you? You'd just blend in with the shadows, and then when he smiles, you'd see his fucking teeth.
Oh,
Right.
It gets worse, this story. That's not actually the worst. Elaine was at home in the bath when she heard the news. One of her neighbours shouted through the window that something had happened. Next she heard screaming. Gary's dad had called from the hospital to say he was dead. Elaine's mother came upstairs and broke the news to her. Elaine was 3 months pregnant with Gary's child. In May 1987, Arabecki was found guilty of manslaughter and jailed for 2.5 years. The judge said it was one of the most unusual cases he'd ever heard. He ordered a further 12 alleged offences of indecent assault and assault causing actual body harm to lie on the file. So why didn't they ever do anything about it? If they because lie on file means the next time you're up, they get brought up, don't they? Gary's father told us
because it's like a myth. He was considered like a legend. And all
yeah,
that
it
stuff.
actually goes into the appeal then. Gary's father told the Liverpool Echo the sentence was disgraceful. Graffiti went up around the Wirral, R.I.P. Gary Kelly. Arabecki appealed against the conviction. In November 1987, 3 judges ruled that his mere presence at the station was not an unlawful act of harm. The conviction was overturned. Arabecki was a free man. In 1989, he reportedly awarded $35,000 in compensation. For 12 months after the death, Elaine said she did nothing but cry, but in January their daughter Jamie Lee was born. As Jamie Lee grew up, she asked questions about her dad. Elaine told her he was in heaven.
Christ.
Yeah.
That's probably how he gets around to North England with that payback at $35,000.
Yeah. That's unbelievable. I mean, he's obviously to blame for the kid's fucking death, so like completely exonerating him is just like well out of fucking order, isn't it?
Well, over racism.
But this is what this is what I mean. Not to be that guy, but this is what happens to women who are being stalked. The dude gets away with it for fucking ages, doesn't he? I mean, he's literally got to batter the woman or fucking murder her before the police will do anything about stalking.
Yeah, but, well, the thing is that it was at the end of the day, if someone's running away from you, you have to walk off, don't you? If someone's running away from you and you continue to follow them, that's fucking stalking.
Yeah,
you're culpable for what happens after.
But Phil, he just happened to be in the same train station that the kid ran to. It was just coincidence, like, bro.
Some fucking negroid is fucking blending in with the shadows, chasing you. That's fucking terrifying shit, though, isn't it?
Yeah, especially the size of him. He's like what did we say? 6'5"?
Yeah.
It's a pisser though, isn't it? He's running off from it. Like, I know it's fucked up that he died, but that's funny as fuck though.
It's like something out of a horror film, isn't it? It's I bet that's the closest to like being some bird being chased by Jason, isn't it? Imagine it, like fucking Gary's like sweating and panicking and fucking and like Purple Aki's there just walking slowly like fucking Jason from Friday the 13th.
Here's one for you.
KFC bucket.
Yeah.
Purple Aki versus Thomas Biden Reese. That'd be a good one, wouldn't it?
He's always spotted with a newspaper in a plastic bag, and there was a lot of rumours of what's in that plastic bag. Is it lube? Is it all the torture? Handcuffs? Is it this? That? Is it a knife or protein shakes? Whatever. But he's always seen with a plastic bag and a newspaper, and no one knows what it is.
No Fun Zone says I thought Purple Aki was a myth or something, not a real life slasher villain. Yeah,
there probably will be a film about him. There probably will be. Based on him.
We'll have to wait till he dies. I don't think it'll happen till he dies, though, will it?
Who will play Purple Aki then?
Idris Elba.
Denzel Washington. Morgan Freeman.
Idris.
Running away, Mike. Stop walking away, Kelly. Why are you running? Not gonna race, Kelly. Racist.
Some white kid. There'll be some white bloke, won't it? The Rock will play him, won't he?
Smack down on him, won't he?
Will Smith, man. Will Smith is fat as fuck now. He can easily play.
Whopper says I'd rather get electrocuted than bummed by a shadow ape. I I just think of it being like, like the girls running away and screaming and tripping over and sweating and screaming and tripping over and just like Jason just walks steadily. I just imagine Aki's like that while these kids going out of his mind. It's not fucking fun. It's not fucking funny. I don't know why I'm laughing, but you've got to laugh, haven't you?
If one of you were getting chased by a Perkle Laffy, I'd fucking laugh my tits off. It'd be funny, that one. It's like, the music in the background would be. No, not that one. What's the Halloween one?
Is that why Toppy's taken to walking around with no shirt on? Is it?
He's trying to bait Aki. That's what he's trying to do. He'd be very
Meech.
Meech, do you like squat Shaki?
The Canal Pusher versus fucking Purple Aki. Toppy versus Aki. That's a be like a horror film, wouldn't it?
It's like Freddy versus Jason, wasn't it?
It seems like Merseyside / Great Manchester, like fucking sex offenders that just immediately get popular. So it's it's weird over there, isn't it? It's like they idolise fucking sickos or something.
How about this one then? John Youssef, 37, runs USC gym in Formby, Merseyside. Every time he goes to the pub these days, someone asks him to tell his anecdote about how he squatted Arabecki. Among his friends, it's a running joke, but at the time of the encounter, he didn't find it funny at all. I can't imagine. So Youssef was 15, a keen weightlifter. He'd gone to Liverpool city centre to buy protein powder from a sports nutrition shop. As he and a friend crossed the road, he says Arabecki bumped into him from behind. He told Youssef that he recognised him, inquired which gym he went to, and asked where he was going. Then Youssef says Arabecki asked him to come to the Crown Court with him. There were 2 murders on trial and he could go and watch. Youssef said no. Arabecki asked if he was racist. He said, I'm half Arabic, I'm not racist, he said. It was his way of intimidating me. So he knew how to use the race card then, didn't he? So he ended up following to the court building alongside a non-weightlifting friend who was ignored by Arabecki. Once they're inside the building, Youssef says he was led to a small windowless room. He was stood in front of the door. He said, take your top off. I said I didn't want to. He said, I'm into bodybuilding, I just want to see. So I need to do the I'm into bodybuilding, I just want to see. He had me flexing my muscles doing bodybuilding poses. He said, I want to see how strong you are. Pick me up in a fireman's lift and squat. He gets me to do a fireman's lift and I'm doing squats with him over my shoulders. Fucking hell, could you imagine like squatting that lot? Jesus, this dude's a fucking unit, isn't he?
So is he trying to be submissive, but it's impossible because he's so fucking big? It seems like he wants to be dominated, but he can't because no one's bigger than him. Like,
you think that's what it is then? You think it's like some sort of like...
It sounds kind of like Top Gun, doesn't it? Why he likes these boxer women. It seems like he wants to get beaten up, but he's so big he can't. It's weird.
Could be. It seems like a... So... He had me flexing my muscles doing bodybuilding poses. He said, I want to see how I've done that one. Youssef can't remember exactly how many squats he managed to do in this position. It was double figures, he reckons. Eventually, so he was squatting 300 pounds, weren't it? 260, 300 pounds, something like that. Eventually, he says, I just put him down away from the door and legged it. I ran, I didn't look back.
What I'm wondering is, how you could easily run past that guy? You know, that guy's, he's black, but he's not going to be Usain
He's
Bolt.
literally like an 80s slasher movie villain. Youssef tried to forget about the berserk.
This is the thing. He might be a fucking shit up runner. I know he's a massive bastard, but fucking.
Might outrun those lads that were trying to kill him with pickaxe handles.
If someone's got a fucking boner and they want to fucking bomb you, and they're running after you, they're gonna get you.
I guess so. All that adrenaline is pumping and fucking.
Yeah, he's like, hold on,
Rhino.
He's run off.
Yeah, but he's probably one of those runners that can't turn circles. You know what I mean? Just.
You have to. It's like being outrunning a crocodile. You have to zigzag, don't you? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You never heard that one? Apparently that's what happens because crocodiles can't change direction very quickly. So if you zigzag, they can't catch you. But a straight sprint, they'll catch you.
Oh, John Colley said that. Well, John Colley, punished John Colley. Is that why you call punished Colley?
So this is the bit where I'm saying he's like a slasher, because Yusuf tried to forget about the bizarre encounter. He went on holiday with his family soon after. When he returned, he went to visit a friend. They were standing outside. His friend turned to him and said, "There's a big black fella looking over the fence." It was Arabeki, Yusuf says. The fuck? Just randomly goes to a mate's house and there's fucking bit purple Aki looking over a fence.
Fucking hell, you probably, yeah. Well, you have a 6-foot fence, right? You don't think anyone will be looking through, but this fucking giant is.
So at 10:30 that night, he made his way home on his bike. As I'm riding on the pavement on my way back, he jumps out of the bushes and grabs me. Yusuf remembers. I said, "What are you doing?" He says, "I've come to measure your muscles." He put his measuring tape around my arms and chest. He goes to put it around my legs, but I run off. When he got home, Yusuf called the police. Arabeki was never charged in connection with his encounters with Yusuf, but officers recognised the pattern of behaviour. They knew who it was straight away.
So we know what's in his plastic bag then. It's a tape measure. He's got like a whole tailor's kit. You know.
Well,
So don't worry, lad. I'm just.
Well, you can see in that picture. You can see in that picture I've got up at the moment. So he's got the newspaper and there's like something in there.
Yeah. He's got his torture equipment. Yeah, he's got his tape measure, his fucking handcuffs,
his dildo.
What he's his chalk for the deadlifts and all that. It's
fuck. This bloke's insane. So in March 1997, the Sunday People newspaper ran a story about Arabeki. The 6'5" giant stalks rugby Super League stars was the headline. It claimed warnings had been issued to all 12 Super League clubs after a 3-year campaign in which Arabeki attacked players' houses, vandalised their cars and made violent. This is going to be Harvey, isn't it? Smashing windows, smashing car windows.
You know that? You do know that you split your rugby.
The paper alleged that he'd taken a 6-foot, 17-stone prop, thrown him over his shoulder and performed squats. Fuck. After the story ran, Arabeki launched a libel action against the paper, but it was dropped after 1.5 days in court. It was to be the first in a series of regular court appearances over nearly 2 decades. So there's the actual headline there.
This guy is an absolute angiophile. He's Jack Donovan, people. Yeah. He is the perfect nationalist right now, isn't he? He's just creepy fuck.
Oh dear. In the spring of 2000, Kelly Mullaney saw a strange man hanging around her brother near their home in Widnes, Cheshire. He sees the boys when he's going to the local shop, she says, coming up to him. Can I feel your muscles? Do you work out at the gym? Mullaney says she'd told Arabeki to leave her brother alone or she'd call the police. Fuck it, these people are fucking brave. Would you go up to that lump and go and call the fucking police on you? Warn him about it. Oh God. Later, Arabeki turned up at Mullaney's house with what she believed to be a gun. He put it through the letterbox, she recalls. He was shouting into the letterbox. Mullaney, terrified, rang 999. Within minutes, she says, police cars filled her street. Can you imagine, like, half a dozen soy police officers trying to arrest him? Arabeki was... Go on then.
He could at least take 10 taser shots or something.
Yeah. Arabeki was arrested and later charged with making a threat to kill. There was no evidence the object was in fact a gun, but he was jailed for 30 months. They don't really want to give him any time, do they? It was like 2 years for Manchester for manslaughter. I think he got more for this than he did for the manslaughter.
Yeah. Well, they're treating it like it's a weird fetish thing, you know. It's like, oh, this guy just, you know. So it's not a fetish. It's an actual sexual fucking offence or something.
Yeah. So scared of potential retribution was Mullaney that she went into a witness protection programme, relocating to another part of England. I left all my friends and family, she says. Oh shit, did you know Merseyside police launched an investigation into Arabeki? Operation Ice, it was called. Should have been Operation Coon or something. Detective interviewed 123 people. Oh, this is where you got that from, Ian.
Yeah.
123 people. You didn't say the geographical area. People from Newcastle upon Tyne to South Wales, although pretty much much of the inquiry focused on the area around Warrington and St Helens. When approached to discuss the investigation for this article, Merseyside Police declined to comment.
He's a well-travelled man. I don't know why they don't put a fucking we got an ankle bracelet on it and say track the cunt.
He definitely needs like an Asbo or something. He needs. Well, they've given him Asbos and he just fucking ignores them, doesn't he? So
Guy got away with it. You know.
This is interesting. This is interesting. What also stood out was the detailed research Arabecki carried out into the lives of those he targeted. Maybe that's what's inside the paper in the carrier bag, all his research. As well as his persistence, he would turn up everywhere our son went and knew information about where he lived and details about us and the rest of his family. The parents of one boy from St Helens told a local newspaper. Like Mulaney and her partner, the family went into a witness protection programme. According to testimony later given in court, officers who searched Arabecki's home found photos of muscular young man. They also found a stalker's manual with an index of victims' contact numbers and other personal details. There were also handwritten notes with body part measurements.
Stalker's manual? What do you mean? Like the perfect way to stalk someone?
No, that's just like all the details, and so they call it
right.
with an index of victims' contact numbers and other personal details.
I can imagine like you know red wires everywhere, like spider diagrams, the yellow pages, Carl, and all that stuff. Just pictures
of Charlie Big Potato's face stuck on muscle bodies. A bit like someone else we know. Oh, here we go. Monday, 15th December 2003, Arabecki was jailed for 6 years at Preston Crown Court after pleading guilty to 15 counts of harassment and another of witness intimidation. An additional 61 alleged accounts, mostly of indecent assault, were left to lie on file. Again, they left a load to lie on file. So it's like, I love the way it's like, oh, you're being racist to me, you're picking on me. Yet every time they leave a load of stuff out of the court case.
This was early 2000s, wasn't it? So it's not
2003. This court case.
Yes, it's nothing like Black Lives Matter, like you know, try to keep it down or whatever. It's just.
So this is like that manslaughter. What was the manslaughter? Was that 87?
89, I think.
So getting on for like 15 years later, he's still fucking at it, and nobody's done anything about him.
No, he's still caught today. You know, if you go on YouTube and just type Purpleaki, you know, yeah, you see a lot of people recording him. He's still doing it. He's still going out there. He's still got the muscle touch ban. He's still doing it, and he gets away with it. No one seems to fucking care, really.
It does seem like obsessive, because it says here, jail didn't stop reports coming in of strange behaviour from Arabecki. Years later, a court was told that fellow inmates complained he'd asked to measure their biceps with a shoelace. Another hearing, it was claimed he was moved 14 times while in prison, but Arabecki insisted this had been the result of unfounded allegations. So it seems like compulsive, doesn't it? So if he hasn't got a tape measure, he'll use a shoelace or something. It just seems like it's like some weird compulsion, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, they just described it as like obsessive, kind of fetish kind of thing. What do you think would happen if you put Charlie Bronson and Aki in the same?
Jesus Christ!
What would happen then?
I think only one of them had come out. I think I wouldn't like to bet on which one it was.
Well, you seen that scene there where he rubs the butter on there? I don't think Purpleaki would give a second thought to doing that. This guy is just he's clearly fucked up, and the government's just seen it as some sort of like weird like foot fetish. It's like, no, this guy's an absolute fucking predator.
Yeah, but, he needs some help. I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, I don't know whether you know we'll put our little we'll put our little like psychiatrist hats on. I don't know whether it was because he was nonced at Bernardo's or something, and whether he's kind of maybe the guy had muscles on him or something, so he's exacting revenge. I don't know whether it could be something like that.
We have no clue, but this guy should be at least a mental fucking hospital. So
Punish John Kelly thinks it'll end up with Aki helping Bronson putting on his body armour and they join forces and beat up all the screws. I don't think he is. I don't think he is harmless, Jim Bob. Because Jim Bob says he's harmless. So if you're going to let him touch you, deserve muscle nonsense.
I mean, would you want him next to you or fucking your 16-year-old kid? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Have you seen what's going on in chat? Punish John Kelly. Biaki, stop sweeping Jaff, and you can see Jaff was timed out by Punish John Kelly for 300 seconds.
Yeah, this Purple-Aki's not some like serial rapist. I'm not saying he's when he's like.
Well, do we know that? I mean, as we know, a lot of guys that are raped don't talk about it. They don't ever talk about it. And especially bodybuilders, where they're kind of like they're all about self-image and they're quite proud. I really don't. I think it's possible there's at least a couple of rapes out there.
Wow, the rumours in prison. It seems like it.
Yeah. I think there's a good chance there are some rapes out there, but I think people are too like scared of like appearing weak or something. So I think maybe that's why he picks the victims that he does, because he knows a lot of them will be too proud to make a complaint.
Well, we're kind of like, I won't say we're laughing, but we're kind of like this is so absurd. But you can imagine what your mates would think if you fucking got touched up by him.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucked up. It really is.
Hobbit, Nordic, come on, you pair. Join in. Nope.
Come on, Nordic, you're into fitness.
Come on, Nordic. You're a big buff lad.
I was playing some Nordic.
Come on, what do you think to what we've said so far? Or now we're pathologising.
It sounds like he's got like a personality disorder, like OCD or something. Like he literally can't help himself.
Yeah, I mean, especially the measuring seems like a compulsion, doesn't it? Like where he'd measure people with a shoelace. So the act of putting the tape round the muscles is obviously part of it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think what you said about him being sexually abused while in the children's home is quite possible as well.
Yeah, do you think it's possible that there are a couple of rapes out there, or because he targets the bodybuilding community, who are quite proud people, aren't they? I think.
Yeah.
And a lot of males that are raped refuse to come forward because they think it's it makes them look weak as well, don't they?
Well, I guess it's worse. If you're a big bodybuilder, you expect to fucking tear the guy's head off. But
if I had to hazard a guess, I'd say that something happened to him while he was in the children's home while he was a child. He then, when he started to get older and went through puberty, he started to hit the weights and really went at it with the weights because he thought that would make him a man. It'd make him feel like a man, because what had happened to him made him feel like he wasn't a man.
Yeah.
And I think what he does with these people is it's a way of making them on his level. Like he's demeaning them. He's taking a bit of their manhood away from them.
Yeah.
Like his has been taken from him.
Yeah.
Possibly, allegedly. I'm not a psychiatrist, so I don't know, but fair assumption to make, really.
Yeah. I was just thinking. So now we've come to this part of the show, and we discussed Purple Aki. Do we have enough information now that we could go through the Akinator.com and see if it could correctly guess that's Purple Aki? Are you familiar with the Akinator?
No, yes. Go on then, Hobbit. We'll do it live.
Right, okay, so I put the website in doodling pad. You have to turn off your ad blocker in order to do it.
Oh, I can't do that.
I'm going to turn my shields down and I'm going to accept all. So, hello, I'm Akinator. Think about a real or fictional character. Try and guess who it is. So it asks questions. So I'll click play. Select the next game. So it's a character. And is your character a girl? No.
No.
Is your character a YouTuber? Does Purple Lucky have a YouTube channel?
No.
No. Has your character really existed? Yes, no, don't know, probably not.
Nice.
Yes. Is your character older than 35 years old? He's what, 60? So, yes.
Yeah.
Is your character dead? Is he alive?
No, he's still alive.
All right, he's still alive.
Are we going to find out if it's the Purple Akinator then?
Does your character live in America? No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Is your character linked with sports?
Yes.
Yes. Is your character a football player? No.
No.
Is your character European? Ooh. Do we say yes on this one?
No, he's not European.
He's not European.
Well, he is
so
by birth, isn't he? Let's assume it. Let's play Civnat rules.
Okay, let's go.
We play the Naturals.
Oh shit! I tried to go back and it started again. So we'll just go through all those things quickly. So,
Yeah.
your character, he's not a girl. He's not a YouTuber. Your character really exists. He's older than 35 years old. He's not dead. He doesn't live in America. He is linked with sports. He's not a football player. He is European. Does your character wear a helmet? Does Purple Lucky wear a helmet? No, he doesn't wear.
He's touched a
Doesn't
few.
wear a helmet.
He needs a crash helmet.
Is your character's fame linked with football? No.
No.
Akinator, not Purple Akinator. He's getting angry now. Does your character have fish lips? Ooh.
Oh, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? No, I don't think Purple Lucky does he?
Nah.
No, he doesn't have fish lips. Is your
Is he
character
being racist?
Is your character a sportsman?
No.
No, he's not involved in sports. Is your character from the Cartoon Network? No.
Is this going to take up the last hour, Hobbit? Because I really don't think the Akinator is going to come up with Purple Lucky.
There's only 5 more questions. Is your character famous in Romania? No. Oh, I don't know about that. Is your does your character personally know you? God, I hope not. Is your character a politician? Is he running for Liverpool Labour?
No.
No.
He's a PA representative. So I guess you put yes.
Does your character work in the fire brigade? No.
This is getting a bit random now.
Is your character linked with cars? No. Is your character from the Scandinavian era? No. Is your character a singer, or does he work with a singer?
No.
No. Is your character an actor? No. Does your character work for a TV channel? No. Is your character from the Balkland region? No. Is your character own a Ford Mustang? Does Purple Lucky own a Ford Mustang?
I don't think he does.
You could. I mean, with 35 grand.
I think it's Gary Kasparov. No. So Purple Akinator did not guess Purple Aki. I'm going to say no. We can continue. He's more than 40 years old, so I'm going to go yes. Does your character live in your country? Yes. Is your character Hungarian? No. Is character from Czech? Oh, hang on, my VPN's not set to Liverpool. Is your character from Czech Republic? No, he's not. Is he linked to a ball game? No. He's for some of the Avengers? No. Does he belong to a royal family? Oh. Does Purple Lucky belong to a royal family?
I don't know. Is he related to Meghan Markle?
Is your character Romanian? No. Is your character have an animal shape? The shape of a gorilla?
Yeah, it looks like a silverback.
Is your character in your house? Oh God, no.
He's upstairs, Hobbit. He's upstairs. The phone call's coming from the house, Hobbit.
Oh shit. Does your character have magical powers?
I don't know. I don't know. He's a bit like Jason. He does seem to be able to teleport, doesn't he?
I'm just going to go on that one. Don't know. Is your character related to Ice? No. Does your character own a brown toy poodle? No.
Well, he is kind of related to Ice because he was Operation Ice was the investigation on him.
Is your character a businessman? Is he an entrepreneur? Is he an aspiring SoundCloud rapper? I'm going to go with no on this one. Is he one of the copper lidded Torres? I assume no. Is your character English? We're going to go yes on this one. Is your character currently working on television? Is he on BBC or have they hired him?
He's appeared on TV.
So we're going to go no. Is your character ever played for Paris Saint-Germain? No, he's not a footballer. Is your character black? Yes. Does your character fight? Does he fight?
No, he's a lover, not a fighter, isn't he?
He's a lover, not a fighter. I'm going to put on this one, don't know. Is your character a criminal? Yes.
Yeah, as Jaff says about the ice, he said his victims use ice to soothe their butt hurts.
He's got it. I think of Purple Aki, yep.
Hey.
It took him only 40 attempts, but finally got there.
He actually said Purple Aki.
I will take a screenshot so you can share it with the channel. Let's go. Let's get screenshot. Here we go. So do that, cut, and then there we are. I guess right one more time.
Actual fuck.
Put that on the screen and share it with the chat.
How about this one? Character already played 296 times. Right,
so that's that Blackie.
Run out of content now. I did hear one rumor but it was a comment actually, but apparently a few porn companies were trying to get him on side.
Joking, Jesus.
Yeah, as a fucking celebrity, but obviously because of the muscle touch ban, I doubt you can get past that, right?
The legend of the iron arse. The man with the iron arse.
There we go.
Oh, are they going to get Purple Aki to be the next James Bond? Move over, Idris Elba. It's Purple Aki.
Yeah, I think Idris Elba's going to play him in the film, isn't he?
Oh no! You want what's his name? The one that plays the angry gorilla in every movie he's in. Samuel Jackson. That's the one.
During one 2008 hearing, stop me if this reminds you of anybody. Arabeki admitted he had an unusual interest in muscles, the development of muscles, and the potential of young men to improve their physique. Meech. He said he had allowed an exercise routine to get out of hand. It became an obsession. Meech.
See, fascist fitness.
I see if Akinator would recognise Mark Collett.
Oh, do we want to do this on the show now?
Well, no, we'll do it. We might do it Tuesday. Should we do it Tuesday?
Yeah, let's do it Tuesday then.
What else have we
Purple
got?
Aki more famous than PA.
In November 2007, Arabeki was sent back to prison. He breached the SOPO by travelling to Preston, Lancashire, approaching a man in a shopping centre and touching his bicep. Court heard. Oh dear.
Touching you.
Oh, here's the bit. Psychiatric counselling had helped him to realise that if I'm towering over them, I'm a big black man. They may not be really consenting, and they may be consenting out of fear. In future, he promised he only wanted to feel the muscles of those who genuinely consented to him doing so. How the fuck's he going to know that? Why don't you stop asking to touch people's fucking muscles?
He's a man who
those
loves
meathead gyms. Why didn't you just go to those meathead gyms where they're all fucking doing that shit?
I think he's just like, I think he's become like the Naked Rambler, but it's touching muscles. So Arabeki was jailed for a second breach of the order in April 2009. Liverpool Crown Court heard he'd approached a 17-year-old in the street in Birkenhead and tried to touch his bicep. The boy said he was left feeling frightened and sick. So he was jailed, doesn't say what the sentence was, but the following year he was sentenced to a further 2.5 years in prison for touching the muscles of a boy in Llandudno, North Wales. Oh, based. Arabecki, who defended himself in court, insisted he was the victim of malicious. He'd say that 35 grand must have been gone on lawyers' fees then, was it?
It seems like it. Lawyers' fees and fucking training tickets.
How about this one for it weren't me. He said Arabecki, who defended himself in court, insisted he was the victim of malicious false allegations to the police. They received several calls a day showing him in locations across the country, even when I'm in prison.
This whole thing's a joke. This is our law system right here.
Yeah, it's an absolute joke.
Yeah, I agree with that, but this guy should probably be fucking chemically castrated. So I probably wouldn't stop him, to be fair.
During the trial, David Faulkner, so this is another trial he was in. During the trial, David Faulkner, a wrestler and mixed martial arts fighter, approached Arabecki for a selfie. Arabecki invited him to come to court. Faulkner was impressed by his fluency and grasp of the law. He's very well spoken. He knows exactly what he's saying. The two subsequently became friends. I think he's terribly misunderstood, says Faulkner. I obviously agree with the majority of civilization that his antics are strange, but a lot of it is conjecture. The stories about him had grown like Chinese whisper, Faulkner says. I think what I'd say to Faulkner is post-sphincter pick.
Post-physique.
Yeah. After his acquittal, Arabecki told the Liverpool Echo he'd spent over 2 years on remand awaiting charges that were either dropped or of which he was found not guilty. Further charges against him were dropped in April 2014. So he found guilty again in 2015. The court heard he'd met a student on a train from Manchester Piccadilly to Colwyn Bay and asked him to flex his muscles and if he could measure his bicep. Arabecki had called himself Andy. The young man didn't know who he was until he read an online article about a month later, jurors were told.
Arabecki, so like Arabic ecstasy?
How about this one? During the trial, Arabecki complained about the use of the racist term purple-aki in prosecution papers. They said they would not refer to a Chinese person as Yellow Wong, he said. The Wirral Globe newspaper had previously given an undertaking that it would not refer to him by his nickname after Arabecki told the Press Complaints Commission he had considered it racist or offensive. Holy shit! And the places where Arabecki is known to have alleged to have approached victims is like a little topographical map. Look at these popping up, look. So Preston, St Helens, New Brighton, Birkenhead, Widnes, London, no.
He's well travelled, I guess.
Yeah. So in 2016, he's allowed to feel muscles again.
Oh, it's lifted, and I thought it was.
It was at Manchester Crown Court. Arabecki told the court that he'd always been interested in a young man, but not in a sexual way. A bit like Toppy and the DOA, then, is it? While his behaviour had breached the court order, it was not criminal in its own right and was not sexually insisted. What do you so do you think it's sexual what he's doing then, or what?
Well, according to the psychiatric thing, it's just, I don't know. I guess it's like someone with like autistic hobbies, like a train, and maybe that's his thing.
Like Adam and trains. It's like him and muscles.
It doesn't. I don't know. I doubt he's ever had a girlfriend or a fucking or boyfriend or whatever.
So you think he's kind of? So you think he's possibly asexual then? It's yet to be proved.
I don't know what it is. It seems weird. Maybe he feels like he can't find anyone bigger than him. I think that's my that's my take on why he's like. I don't know. It seems weird. This whole thing does.
Yeah, it's very. It's like it's weird because it's like part true crime, part urban legend, part a bit of everything, isn't it? It's like you can see probably where Clive Barker. I don't think it's like exaggerating to say that this is probably where Purple Aki is probably the basis for Candyman.
You can do a deep dive in that.
I need to find the Candyman book because it's in one of the books of blood, isn't it? Candyman. It's called something else. Maybe I need to read Candyman and do an addendum to this.
So what do you think the average day of Aki is then?
I don't know.
What do you think? As is the morning chicken, watches WWE for like 5 hours straight, seeing all these like Turkish oil wrestling and all that, and then he just hops to the shops, gets
quick flick through fascist fitness.
Someone needs to find his social media and just send them a link to fascist fitness Telegram. That'd be fucking funny.
Oh, I don't know. Charlie quite excitedly talks about him on College Show, didn't he?
Maybe that's why he's in Spain.
He's on the run from Purple Aki.
I think it's the other way around, to be fair. There was not much on Purple Aki. Well, he pretty much sued the fuck out of so many media companies, didn't he? So I guess we didn't get.
Yeah, I mean, with how things are going now, it's probably easier and easier for him to sue people for racial grounds, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's why Akinator doesn't have a photograph of Purple Aki.
So are we all done with Purple Aki? Have we missed anything? So I'll look at the rest of this. BBC article. What do we got? There's a gym in Birkenhead with a life-size cardboard figure of a man with Arabeki's face pointing his finger. At the base it says membership's due. So back to that Gary Kelly's daughter, Jamie Lee Jordan. So she says, it does upset me when I hear people joking about Purple Aki. She says, since the internet has become a joke, it's hard for me to hear my dad lost his life. It's kind of right, but
yeah.
So others who have encountered Arabeki are furious that the SOPO has been lifted to Vaughan. It's a disgrace. Mulaney says she still lives in fear of Arabeki tracking her down. Everywhere he goes, passers-by snap surreptitious pictures of him, and pictures of Arabeki on their smartphones. The bolder ones go up and ask him for selfies. Once the pursuer has become the prey himself. In December 2015, this is what you were talking about, Lord Sugar retweeted a photo of Arabeki and Faulkner, which a Twitter prankster had told him he'd showed his dad and a friend on the way to buy the Piers book. The retweet generating national press coverage. Do you remember when someone did that to... I remembered who it was the other day. It was George Foreman, didn't they? They sent a picture of Fred and Rose West and said, wish my mum and dad happy wedding anniversaries. And I remember that one.
Yeah, I saw you post that, Asian.
I mean, this is taking the piss out of clueless celebrities. This is time-honoured tradition. I mean, back before the internet, there was a show called Brass Eye with Chris Morris on it. And he had a whole bunch of celebrities, including Bernard Manning and who's that DJ who's a tosspot? Tony, it doesn't matter whose name is. But anyway, he was getting them to talk about a new drug on the streets called cake. Cake is a made-up drug. So they're holding this massive, yellow ecstasy tablet. And none of them going, is this the real size? And like Chris wants in deadpan voice, like, yeah, it is. That's fucking massive.
Tony Blackburn.
Do you know the toilet cakes you get, the urinal cakes?
That's it, Tony Blackburn.
Mm.
Yes, toilet cakes.
You know the urinal cakes, yeah. I remember I can't remember where it was from, but the drug dealers just like cutting little circles and selling on as pills to club goers. And, I can't remember how he got caught, but it was fucking stupid.
Do you remember when the police were doing free testing on MDMA and most of it was caffeine?
Drugs now, it's all fake. Yeah, I wouldn't trust any of that shit.
Mm.
I think we had this discussion before about the quality of drugs, and the advice from like drug enthusiasts of, yeah, but if you get Molly in powder form, that's pure, because nobody would adulterate a powder. That never happens with cocaine.
So, right, we done
It's
with
like
Purple
that. I want to say. Okay, we've got another half hour left. I can relax. Goldschlager does not get you drunk because the gold flakes cut your throat. If the gold flakes cut your throat, you would be vomiting blood. You would be in a lot of pain. And no, that doesn't get alcohol into your bloodstream faster. That's not. Gold lager just gets you drunk because it contains alcohol. You dumbass.
Hobbit, can you do some unexplained mysteries? Because the missus has just brought me some chicken wings in.
Oh, I'd love to. I'm just having last of my shepherd's pie.
Chicken tenders.
Delicious shepherd's pie. So there's some unexplained mysteries. Oh, well, here's one. And this is really spooky. This is from the Daily Wire. Scientists backing probe into Wuhan lab. We waited because we didn't want to be associated with Trump. Ooh, scary Trump. Ooh. It's not really very scientific, is it? But anyway, unexplainedmysteries.com. Dead murder hornet discovered in the US. Murder hornet got murdered by Purple Aki. The dried up specimen is the first giant Asian hornet. It's those Asians again with their grooming gangs. Found in the United States so far this year, measuring 1.8 inches long, and with a venomous stinger 1/4 of an inch in length, the murder hornet can actually prove lethal to humans. It's responsible for up to 50 deaths a year in Japan. In addition, these predatory insects are known to attack honeybees, bastards, have no innate defense against them. Preventing them from gaining a strong foot on the United States, therefore, is very important. This particular specimen was found early this month in Shenandoah County, Washington State, by a member of the public who grew concerned about the presence of the insect in the region. The find is perplexing because it is too early for a male to emerge, said Dr. Osama Al-Lissi. Hang on, let me read you this again. Inshallah, the find is perplexing because it's too early for a male to emerge, inshallah, said Dr. Osama Al-Lissi of the US Department of Agriculture's quarantine program. Yeah, I'm sure he's got America's, but Dr. Osama is like the head of the Department of Agriculture. That's the really spooky part about this story. Anyway, this new report continues to. Hang on, he's not Russian.
Did he say Durka al Durka murder hornet Durka?
Mohammed Jihad. The find is perplexing, Mohammed Jihad, because this is not how they plan to take over the US, Mohammed Jihad. This new report continues to underscore how important public reporting is for all suspected invasive species, except my Muslim brothers, inshallah. We'll now be setting traps in the area and encouraging citizen scientists to trap in Snohomo-ish and King counties. None of this would have happened without an alert resident taking the time to snap a photo and submit a report. With any luck, efforts to prevent the insects from setting up home in the state will prove successful. It's not. It's not going to happen. You're going to get the murder hornets there, and it's going to be even more of a barren wasteland. And funny enough, in the Bhagavad Gita, it talks about how the human race becomes shorter and shorter, and eventually you will be fighting giant cockroaches as the insects get more and more hostile.
Isn't giant cockroaches just an analogue for Arabs?
No. I believe those are called Turks.
Oh, right.
Oh, solving the Golden Gate Bridge's mystery hum. Ooh. But delicious shepherd's pie getting cold.
Why did it forget? Did it forget the words?
Yeah. Consider a big one of the wonders of the wonder world. The shepherd's pie is delicious, so I apologise for that.
Is your shepherd's pie the 8th wonder of the world?
It's the 8th wonder of my gut. Problematically, however, recent
Fucking
update to the
hell!
bridge.
Jaff just had a major Jannian in the chat.
I know he's been timed out for 30 years.
He's never coming back.
No. He's been a naughty boy. Yeah.
How can he think that? And then he's just said something. So he's talking. Jaff dated a Turkish girl.
Yeah, surprise.
Dated a Turk roach. Ugh.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised about the Turkish, but girl has definitely surprised me.
Yeah, that surprised me a little bit.
How were you able to distinguish it as a girl? Did it have slightly less facial hair than the Turkish man?
Press X to doubt.
Can I remind you of the YouTuber that is was it SS Sniper Wolf?
Yeah.
Please don't. I'm not going to repeat.
She's not fit.
I'm not going to repeat what I've said in private about her on the stream.
Hey, Tactical Droid's finished his second year at uni and got really good grades. So well done to Tactical Droid.
Yeah, well done. Now back to shitposting and online racism. Oh, has he got a degree in racism yet?
Well done. You got A11 Brick Lane. Come to Britain.
Well, if you've got your PhD in neurosurgery, you can come to England and be a bus driver then.
Well, that's a bit harsh, I bet.
Well, that's what happens. No,
Yeah, so
seriously.
what was
I
it?
mean,
Yeah, we know that's what happened.
Oh, they figured it. Anyway, the hum. Back to the hum.
Oh.
It was part of the Golden State Bridge retrofit designed to protect the bridge for future generations by allowing it to withstand sustained high winds of up to 100 miles. So it was what you know the women engineers rigged up. Then I assume.
oh goody. So they put some sails on it so it blows more.
Yeah.
Go faster, stripes.
There's another thing that women fucked up.
Song triggers amnesiac's long memories. Was it Gordon Lightfoot? A man who had forgotten.
The thing with the Golden Bridge is that the new guardrail that they've put up, when the wind goes through there at a certain speed, it makes a humming sound that you can hear all the way across the San Francisco Bay, and they've got to try and work out a way of fixing it without damaging the bridge, because the bridge is really old, obviously.
Mm-hmm. But it's all right. We know it's in the future because they talk about it in Star Trek.
The future.
Okay. So a man who had forgotten 10 years of his life had suddenly experienced flashbacks after hearing a specific song. When 19-year-old Thomas Leeds crossed the road in central London one day in the early 2000s, a taxi suddenly careened into him. I'm sure the driver was just mentally ill. It was a taxi of peace. Sending him flying head first in. This is a bit. This shows how bad journalists are. So it says sending him head first onto the ground. It's not that one. It's this sentence here. The scene of the accident was dire, with the vehicle exhibiting extensive signs of damage. The poor car after hitting him.
Yeah. Did the car survive?
Yeah. They seem more worried about the car than him, don't they? Incredibly, Thomas himself seemed to have escaped with only minor head injury. He was even discharged from hospital shortly afterwards, which as it turns out was a mistake. After complaining of headaches and nausea, he returned to hospital for a scan where it was found he'd developed a blood clot that, if left untreated, would have killed him within 24 hours. So after his surgery, he woke saying that he couldn't remember anything. Oh God! Can you imagine do you know what the song is?
Oh, is it? I've got you in the Kylie Minogue song I hated. I can't get you out of my head.
No, it's worse than that. It's the Waterboys. The Waterboys 1980s hit "The Whole of the Moon." Brought his memories back.
I hated that Kylie Minogue song. Can't get you out of my head.
Can't get you out of my head. Do.
We ready for the next story?
No, I've just found one in the side. Toppy's been on the YouTubes again because they found a mystery troll that's been captured on camera.
Oh, I was going to say the other headline. This is a bit of a teaser. Crowds gathered to see mango with human face.
Crowds. Yeah, you can go on now.
Crowds.
I can't bother to read that story out.
All right, let's do the mango. A peculiar spectacle in the form of an oddly shaped mango has recently been generating interest in Kenya. The phenomenon, which appears big news around the residents' small village of Kitui, started when someone noticed the mango on a nearby tree happened to have a human-like face. Before long, word had got around, resulting in hundreds of people turning out to see it. Footage was then later posted online showing the level of interest.
I'm surprised no one's nicked it yet.
Yeah, or eaten it. The unusual fruit managed to elicit crowds of people queuing up in an attempt to get close enough to take photographs. The mango itself doesn't seem particularly remarkable. That's their span, not mine. Although it does have at least a face of sorts. Some social media users expressed puzzlement at the spectacle.
Are they doing the poo-poo on the mango then, are they? They poo-pooing the mango?
They are poo-pooing the mango.
Yeah.
So others were quick to dismiss the entire thing as little more than a case of the made-up Snope science of everything you see is just a coincidence. Exactly what will be done with the mango once it is picked, however, remains unclear. Ooh, spooky.
What do you think to this one then? Contacting ET is reckless, say astronomers. It is a bit like doing a Ouija board, though, isn't it? You know, it's like, hey, we're here. Anybody, come along.
We're here and we're defenseless, and send an asteroid our way. I could read the story if you like. A group of astronomers.
News from Tactical Droid. He's studying IT, but his mum said he can come to Britain and become a toilet cleaner, but only if he studies hard.
Yes,
so Tactical Droid's leaning into the gag.
I was going to say that's the Eastern European dream. Get a PhD in STEM or medicine. Come to England so that you can become a plumber or a bogbot attendant.
Yeah.
No, bog brush attendant. Sorry, I was thinking of Crichton. Most people involved in the search of signs of extraterrestrial alien civilizations tend to assume that these advanced spacefarers are benign. Do they? And that they're interested in peaceful coexistence. There are some, however, who hold the opposite view. Writing in the recent op-ed, never understood that term.
It's opinion. Is it opinion editorial or something?
Right. So again, I don't know what an editorial means. And
an editorial is just like where you just like it's like a stream of consciousness bit.
So is this just a fancy way of saying this is what I have wrote about my opinion?
Yeah, it's just an opinion piece. That's all it is.
So in other words, writing a complete bullshit article about stuff that he's discussing in the pub, Mark Buchanan has warned that making contact with aliens could be comparable to the first European...
So an op-ed, Hobbit, is used to describe a piece of writing that expresses a personal opinion and is usually printed in a newspaper opposite the page on which the editorial is printed. Right, so it's opposite the editorial, then, I think, is what it means.
So in other words, it's just like what I was discussing with my mates in the pub last night.
Yeah.
He says it could be comparable to the first Europeans making contact with the indigenous Americans. What? So in other words, they'll bring civilization and modern stuff and build roads and then give you reservations where you can drink shampoo. Okay. Chances are we should be grateful that we don't yet have the evidence of contact with alien civilizations, he wrote. Attempting to communicate with extraterrestrials if they do exist could be extremely dangerous for us. City astronomer Joe Gertz also agreed.
Yeah, Interdimensional Lizard's got that back to that bloke with the song. The song should have been Amnesia by Chumbawamba, shouldn't it?
Noting that attempts to communicate with aliens could cause the reckless endangerment of all mankind and be absolutely prescribed with criminal consequences. Oh, well, okay. So why is it that back in the day you broadcast the day the Earth stood still about how humanity's really evil and need to be wiped out by aliens, and you broadcast that to, was it Sirius or?
Oh, that's a good idea, that, isn't it?
So, but they broadcast it so that it would reach Sirius at December the 21st, 2012. So that was the Tom Cruise movie about, like, hey, aliens, we're going to show you this fictitious story.
That weren't Tom Cruise, it was him out of John Wick. What's his name?
Oh,
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
So they're gonna broadcast this fictitious piece of film and explain it's a work of fiction to aliens, saying that humans are really dangerous and you need to wipe us all out.
What if they don't have a word for fiction?
Yeah. What if they're just like, this is a hypothetical, like what will happen? So yeah, they don't mention about that in here. There.
Tactical Droid says extra testicles. Too late, we caught that. Did you say extra testicles, Hobbit?
That's why I then corrected myself later on and said extraterrestrials.
E.T. the extra testicle. Bit like I would say a bit like Hitler, but he was lacking a testicle, wasn't he?
Well, a bit like Purple Aki, because 60 years old and you still want to feel people's muscles. Like, so anyway, Joe Gert said the reckless endangerment of all mankind and absolutely prescribed with criminal consequences, presumably as exercised at the national level, are administered through the International Court of Justice in The Hague. On the other side of the argument, meanwhile, an American astrobiologist, Douglas Vakoch, who believes that if we don't attempt to contact extraterrestrials, we risk missing guidance that could enhance our own civilization's sustainability.
Yeah, because that's what happened, weren't it, Hobbit? Do these people not know what happened to the Indians in America?
Yeah, they're going to come here and it's like, hey guys, stop using LEDs, just like sit in the dark, you know. Stop playing computer games and get off the internet, because we're going to just shut off all your electricity.
Hey, do you want us to sell you shiny stuff for drugs?
Yeah. Ultimately, it all comes down whether or not the aliens we do contact have to be peaceful. Is it worth the risk? You decide. And there are 56 comments after that.
Well, it's too fucking late, because SETI have been throwing fucking shit out there for ages. And NASA and all these other fucking gimps, the Voyager probe, all this bollocks that we got all out in space. So for like nice little trail of fucking breadcrumbs right back to us.
I'm sure they're going to look at our history and go, all right, they're killing each other. Why wouldn't they do that to us?
Yeah, exactly.
It would be bad, to be fair, if they do right.
So do you want to do the story about the mystery of the girl buried with a bird in her mouth?
Oh, the bird within a bird.
Bird within a bird. So it's what do they call it? What's that dish called?
A bird within a bird. A stuffed bird.
I don't know. Whatever it is. Anyway, younger. That's fucking died. That joke has anyway.
Chicken stuffed turkey.
I don't know, whatever it is. A young girl buried in a European cave centuries ago was discovered with the head of a finch in her mouth. This perplexing archaeological mystery, maybe it was a cannibalistic finch that was trying to eat her. This perplexing archaeological mystery, which concerns a burial first discovered in Poland's Tunel Wielki cave in the 1960s by archaeologist, this is going to get fucked up, Waldemar Chmielewski. I think I nailed that one.
Easy for you to say.
I think I nailed that one. Has only recently come to light. According to a new radiocarbon dating technique, she died around 300 years ago. However, the peculiar circumstances surrounding her burial have left experts scratching their heads. Well, have they got an itch? For one thing, Europeans had stopped burying their dead in caves long before this point, while the discovery of a bird's head inside the girl's mouth makes this burial unlike any other previously seen in Europe from this time period. Cave burial.
The bird flew in her mouth, she bit down and choked on it outside.
Yeah. So cave burials are generally absent from historical periods in Europe, researchers wrote. Consequently, maybe she was a grass. Maybe that's like maybe that's the Polish version of like a mob hit. Consequently, yeah, she's a grass. She's fucking grass, mate. Consequently, the discovery of a post-medieval inhumation of a child buried with at least one bird head placed in the mouth in a Tunaweki cave is an exceptional find. A closer investigation of the skeleton has since revealed the girl was around 10 to 12 years of age when she died. It's also thought she may have suffered from some form of metabolic disease. What's metabolic disease, Hobbit?
Oh, that's where your metabolism's not working.
Oh, okay. What? So like thyroid or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I was just thinking of that boy with where his mitochondria wasn't working, but that's mitochondrial disease.
So basically, all of that lot, and basically what they could have said is, "Bugger if I know." I've never seen anyone put a bird inside someone's mouth before.
Yep. Can I do this one about space?
I thought NASA's assembled mega rocket, which is absolutely going into space.
Yep, which is real. The first of NASA's enormous Space Launch System, SLS rockets, stands as tall as the Statue of Liberty, carrying 212 foot. Hang on, so 212 divided by 32 foot. So that's as long as nearly 7 double-decker buses. That's quite long, actually. 7 double-decker buses.
Oh, do you want two bird roast?
What?
The puns.
Two bird roast.
Provide.
Yeah.
I guess you could call it two birds with one stone.
Tactical droid. What's metabolic disease? When your metabolism doesn't work. Well, he's not wrong. So I was trying to do a Holly there. He says, well, you see, the thing about space, right, is it's black. And black holes...
Jim Cook wants to know how tall is that rocket in Big Ben's?
How many Big Bens? Let me find out the length of Big Ben. Height.
Surely it should be done in football, in length of football pitches, shouldn't it?
I'll do
double-decker buses. What is it in double-decker buses, Hobbit? You're missing a niche in the market, Hobbit. You need to do.
Well, I just
you need to do like the journalist's measuring device website. You know, where you can do it in measure anything in. Well, here's a height. What is it in double-decker buses or football fields?
It's too bad we don't know a middle-class twat what could do web design and say, "Hey, can you help me do this calculator?"
Yeah.
But so let me just see in links. So how tall is the Big Ben? Come on, why doesn't it?
Daniel wants to know what it is in leaflet lengths. So that 8-foot paper lengths.
In the height is 316 feet, so it's like 2/3 the height of Big Ben. This. It's not even one.
It's not even one Big Ben.
It's not even one Big Ben.
Do you know, from all the times you've ever seen the Statue of Liberty, would you think that the Statue of Liberty was taller than Big Ben?
They make it out to be, but it's not. It's like, it's just. Let me just have a look.
That's the real conspiracy here. Why is it the Yanks are trying to make out that the Statue of Liberty is taller than the Big Ben?
Yeah. That's what we want. A football pitch. What's the length of a football pitch?
I think they vary, don't they? Actually,
it's 115 yards by 74 yards.
Yeah. Jim Cook's right. It's the height in Big Ben's, the length is in double-decker buses, and the volume is in Olympic swimming pools.
That's it. And weights in adult elephants.
Yeah.
So this.
I reckon. Can you imagine the traffic you'd get to that, like in journalists alone?
You know what? We need to put adverts on it, like suicide prevention for journalists. Oh, this could be a good website, actually. Anyway,
you could get like Indeed to sponsor it if it's for journalists, couldn't you?
Fuck me, yeah.
Learn to code websites for journalists, couldn't we?
Yeah. Oh God, we should have talked about this off air, but okay, you heard it.
We've given it away now.
Anyway,
we've given £1 million idea away.
No, we're going to register the journalistcalculator.com before any of these bastards do. So anyway, towering 212 foot, that's almost 2/3 the height of Big Ben above the ground, and flanked by its 2 smaller booster rockets. The core stage of the US Space Agency.
I'm a bit disappointed in this giant rocket now. It doesn't seem so giant now. It's not a Big Ben.
Yeah, next generation rocket has been photographed for the first time in its launch configuration ahead of its maiden voyage later this year. Destined to carry astronauts to the moon and beyond, this gargantuan launch vehicle will play an integral part in NASA's Artemis program which aims to place astronauts on the moon before 2030. The other key component will be the Orion capsule.
Oh, your favourite parody account's back, IC3 Bumble Clark Coonface.
Hey, welcome back, IC3 Coon Bumberclat, which is capable of carrying up to 6 astronauts. Both will be launched into space before the year is out as part of the Artemis 1 mission, a test flight designed to trial both the rocket and the capsule without anyone actually being on board.
Oh, Jim Cook's even come up with a name for it, JournoCalc, for when you're too lazy to come up with your own comparison.
If all goes well, the first astronauts will fly into space as part of the 2023 Artemis 2 mission.
They'll fly into space, I'll bet. How quaint.
Yeah. Artemis 3 will then follow, landing humans on the moon for the first time in over 50 years.
It's not just the giant black budget that they actually use that the CIA uses to kill children with, is it?
They're definitely not. And they definitely don't use that secret budget to make flying saucers.
Yeah. Just to make people, just to spook people.
Considering flying saucers like from the 1950s and like they're still flying around in it, wouldn't it be a bit like you've got like an original Cadillac or something and you just keep it like running?
Yeah. Oh, that's weird. We did that last week, didn't we? The man who can turn his head almost 180 degrees. Oh, that was weird.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's been a ghost spotted at the Stanley Hotel. Which film was filmed there, Hobbit? I'll do a bit of pop quiz for you.
Is that oh god, I can't remember. Come on, Stanley Kubrick.
I'll give you. Yes, Stanley Kubrick did direct it. Yeah.
Shining.
Yes, the Shinnings.
Shining.
Yeah.
So a woman who had been on a ghost tour of the infamous hotel captured a picture of a woman at a window. Kim Kimberly, who hails from Texas, had been on vacation at a hotel, famous for being the setting of Stephen King's The Shining, when she said what she believes to be a paranormal encounter, or it could have been a woman at a window. I decided to do the ghost tours of the hotel with my friend, she told CBS News. They tell you to take pictures, so I took a ton. You can ask my family. That's how you know she's telling the truth. I swear on me kid's life, etc, etc. I take at least 2 or 3 pictures in a row of the same thing. Intriguingly, one of the photographs she took appeared to show a woman in white in one of the windows, while the other pictures were taken mere moments afterwards, show nothing. The woman could have gone away in between. So some people are saying it's the curtains. I'm pretty sure that's a woman. So what do you think to that one then, Hobbit?
I think I don't care. Sorry.
Anyway. By the way, Texas is 2,558.5 Yorks, apparently.
Yeah.
What's his favourite film?
Yeah. Come back soon, Jeff.
Well, what's Jeff been saying that's upset you?
Well, once he gets off of the naughty step, I don't know, because his messages keep getting deleted by Fremen.
He said, Hobbit, shut your gammon mouth.
Wow, that's a hate speech.
You do quite frequently have gammon in your mouth, though, Hobbit. He is correct.
I do like gammon.
Well, apparently The Shining is Woe's favourite film. I've got to say, Shelley Duvall, far more frightening than Jack Nicholson. Shelley Duvall is the one who gives me the fucking creeps in that film. You know, his wife. The way she's all fucking cack-handed with those knives and all spindly and fucking weird looking. Have you not seen The Shining then, Hobbit?
I think I've seen it once or twice. Isn't it basically the film where like Stanley Kubrick gives a veiled sort of thing of saying these are people you don't say no to because like NASA said, hey, yeah, can you fake us the moon landings, LOL?
Apparently Kubrick scared Shelley Duvall on set or something.
Well, I'm not surprised.
She scared the shit out of me. She's so fucking weird. Oh, tactical droid doesn't know what a gammon is, Hobbit. Do you want to explain to a foreign what gammon is?
Right. So you know ham. It's basically that, but it's done slightly differently to how a ham would be prepared. But you cook and eat gammon the same. I'd say gammon's got a tougher texture than ham. And that's about it.
It's kind of like the steak version of pig, isn't it?
Yeah, that's about right.
I think that's probably the best way of saying it. Is that more? Does that make more sense?
It's used as a slur for your typical Englishman because you've got pink-faced, ruddy English men, and they're called gammons. And considering how sunburnt I am today, I do look like a bit of boiled gammon. So, yeah, you know, like, but yeah, like, what I'm looking for here. Yeah,
would it be the same as Romanian jambon? I thought jambon was French, weren't it? No, they're French for ham.
Yeah, jambon, as the French call it, which is probably just a Romanian version of. It's ham. It's a pork.
Thicker. It's thicker, and you cook it. It's a meat you cook rather than. I think gammon's already cooked as well, isn't it?
No, you have to cook gammon, whereas ham's pre-cooked.
It's not raw, though, is it? It looks like it's been. Raw. All the gammon I've ever seen doesn't look like raw pork.
Well, that's the thing, because raw pork is like, I mean, you've seen pork chops, they're the same colour as cooked ham. It's just the texture changes. Mind you, when you cook a pork chop, it goes grey, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because they put nitrates on the gammon, and that makes it go pink.
So there we go.
So
we all done now.
Yeah, that's it. It says it's not raw; it's smoked. Oh, I love smoked ham.
Yeah, I told you. I knew gammon wasn't warm. Wasn't raw.
No, but he's saying jambon is smoked. I mean, I've had Serrano ham and Parma ham. They're both of those are smoked.
Hold on, have I got to look up gammon and prove you wrong on this?
Please do, but every gammon I've had to cook.
Yeah, I'm not saying you don't cook it, but I'm pretty sure that it's. Yeah, gammon is the hind leg of pork after it's been cured by dry salting or brining, which may or may not be smoked. Like bacon, it must be cooked before it can be eaten. In that sense, gammon is comparable to fresh pork meat. So it's cured, isn't it? Well, I think the point I'm trying to make is it's not like raw, is it?
So when it's been the curing process has changed it.
Yeah.
And like bacon. I mean, bacon is cured prior to.
Gammon seems to be cured more than that though, because bacon still looks like raw meat. But I've never thought gammon ever looks like raw meat.
Yeah. Oh, and the ham hock, which is also known as gammon hock, is the back end of the joint, contains more connective tissue and sinew. I'm glad we get this back to grub and soil posting.
Yeah. The word gammon is derived from the Middle English word for ham, gambon, which is attested since the early 15th century and derived from the Old North French gambon, itself derived from Old French jambon, which is identical to the modern French word for ham.
So there you go. Jambon, the anglicised version of jambon is gambon, which is now become known as gammon.
Yes.
So there you have it. In Ireland, a jambon is a ham and cheese wrapped in flaky pastry. Oh, that actually does sound pretty good.
Oh, in some English dialects, a similarly derived gambol refers to a leg.
Yeah. You know, ham and cheese, and flaky pastry, that's mine with Pat Stitzy. I miss Malta. Oh, well, memories, eh? That's all in the past now.
It's not raw, it's smoked. Yeah, so that's what cured. It can be cured through smoking, can't it? I think, can't you, Hobbit? Dry salting or brining, which I don't know what that either of those are.
You still got to cook it before you eat it, so that means like it's unsafe to eat. So it's not like if you had smoked salmon, you can just eat that straight away.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't look quite like just regular raw pork, though, does it? That's what I'm trying to say.
No, because it has been cured, and that's why it's pink and. Mind you, I've had raw salmon before, so just because something's raw doesn't mean you can't eat it. But like fish and beef is okay, but I don't think I'd eat raw meat of anything else.
Oh, do you remember that? Do you remember those pictures from Facebook with the woman where she does the medium rare chicken?
Oh no, I've seen that, and it makes me feel squeamish. And no, oysters.
It's funny. I don't like raw chicken and I don't like raw egg. Both of them make me feel a bit weird.
I don't like how chicken smells. Nor do I like how lamb smells. No, oysters, you have them raw as well, and despite them being mollusks, I do like them. But it's unsafe to eat it raw. Hobbit is a casual. Yeah, pretty much.
Has Kay cooked gammon? I dread to think, Jim. I mean, I got to gammon malware.
Let's see. Kay's good cooking, and gammon. Oh, did you know some Northern Nationalist is live? Maybe we should finish this. Chips, gammon, eggs, and peas.
Anyway, Phil's live. Phil's live. Go away now.
Yep.